Welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another video for the Elite Discord Tournament. We have already gone through one game apiece in the semifinals. The first game between the Thumpers and the Prowl did go the Thumpers' way, an away game that they managed to win 1-0 on a Joe Tent home run. Really great pitchers matchup in that one, and we'll see potentially another one here between Les Ventura and Raymond Meal. Now, Raymond did not have a great first outing. Les Ventura did, and we'll see if that stays the same or if things change in this one as the Prowl get another home game before we head to Bengata Bowl for Game 3. Let's go ahead and see if they can even the series. Jumping into this one, quick preview of the lineups. We're going to work our way through, starting off with Maxton Myers. I think every game of this tournament has been Caleb Thompson leading off, and instead for this one, Maxton Myers will be taking that spot in the first in the order at first base. Second, Archibald Sormore. Archie is going to be playing center today. And then we follow that up going to Ginger Munster, the right fielder in the 3-hole. Joe Tent, the big game-winning home run in the last game, will get the 4 spot at playing second base once again. Then we see Caleb Thompson playing third and batting fifth. Ryan Goodwin drops down to the 6th spot in the order. He's DHing. He is tense in this one. Did not have a great outing last time. We'll see if he turns that around. Isabella Bullseye still playing short in the 7th spot, and she is still locked in after that last game. 8 in the order is Knox Horn will be playing left field. And then finally, Francesca Brown once again catching in that 9 spot. And the pitcher, Les Ventura. Les had a huge first start of this tournament where he went 4 1/3 inning, not allowing a single run and striking out 8. Had a very dominant performance. He's hoping to see that continue in this one. As we move over to the Prowl, their lineup will look almost identical, if not the exact same. Working our way through it, we see Mew Chambers in the number 1 spot once again, playing third base, followed by locked-in Reese Bugby at short. Jasper Reeves, once again the captain in the 3 spot. He has not budged from this spot in the order. Unfortunately, he has not really shown up for those Prowl offense. He's going to be tense at first base in the 3-hole, followed by Bolt Snow at 4 in left field, and Jada McCarthy, the catcher, in the 5 spot. Again, she didn't do too much in that first game against the Thumpers. Really, nobody did, but she has been the most consistent hitter for this Prowl offense, so she's going to stay in that 5 spot. Elizabeth Nelson playing second base in the 6-hole, followed by Devon Bailey playing center field and in the 7 spot. Francisco Henson will be playing right field in the 8 spot, and then that leads us to Donald Frost Tense DHing in the 9-hole. Raymond Meal in his first outing did not go that well. The A- starter will be facing off against a couple of ace exterminators for the Thumpers, and we'll see if he can right the ship and make some adjustments to be really effective today against a very formidable Thumpers offense. So this will be the last game at Swagger Center before we head over to the Bengata Bowl. And unless we see a Game 5, we will likely, or we may not come back to the Swagger Center in this round. So here they are facing off against each other, and the Thumpers will get the first chance to get the offense going. Again, this is a big change here. Maxton Myers getting the leadoff spot in today's game against Raymond Meal. I'm not sure what was the deciding factor in making that change in the lineup. So Raymond Meal hoping to settle in. His ERA over 10. Definitely had a rough first outing. He also has a 1.88 whip, and that's going to go up even higher as he allows a base hit to the leadoff man, Maxton Myers, at first base, with one right back up the middle. And here comes Archie Sormore. He's looking to be able to build off of his great first round, and he's been doing really well, but kind of quiet lately. He hits that ball hard to left field, and Bolt Snow ranges back, finds it, comes in, and reels it in for out number 1. So the runner retreats back to first. And here comes one of those ace exterminators, Ginger Munster, has yet to get a hit in the tournament. She's hoping to find some success here against Raymond Meal, who struggled already once, and she's trying to make him struggle here again, too. She's down 0-2 already. And Maxton Myers takes off and gets right underneath Bugby's tag on the hit and run. And Ginger Munster swung right through it for strike 3, out number 2. But Maxton Myers was able to advance to second on the play, and he gets his first steal of the tournament. And Raymond Meal puts that one right where he can hit it down the line, and it goes right down the first baseline. And because of that stolen base, was able to advance Myers all the way around to score there. So the Thumpers take the 1-0 lead right out of the gate here in the top of the first. And here comes Caleb Thompson, the normal leadoff hitter, has been cooling off quite a bit after a couple of hot games to start the tournament. And as I say that, he puts that one right in between first and second for another hit. And with 2 outs, we have 2 on. And here comes Ryan Goodwin, the DH, who's tense right now. And I believe we might see Raymond Meal tense too. Yep, he is. Already laboring in this one, and he gets a foul ball, or the fair ball, that landed right in front of the plate. I wasn't sure where McCarthy was able to pick that up, but she was able to get it in fair territory and toss it to first to save Meal from that getting out of hand. There was 1 run that scored there for the Thumpers, and they got their offense going already. And here comes Les Ventura against Mew Chambers, seeing what he can do in an opportunity to keep that momentum going on his end, as he had a great outing the first time against the Overdogs. He gets Mew to fly out to right field for out number 1. Lazy fly out there. And here comes locked in Reese Bugby. He has off-speed hitter here activated, and you will see that Les has 4 pitches to our off-speed, to our fastballs. And we have a 1-2 count here for Bugby, hoping to keep his hot streak going. He takes ball 2 and fights that pitch off, fouls it off, stay alive, and then takes that pitch just on the inside part of the plate, and that's out number 2 with a strikeout. Drops Bugby's mojo down to neutral, and he's frustrated because he thought that pitch was going to stay inside, but Ventura did a little something with that one. I believe that was a 2-seamer, and it was able to sneak into the inside part of the plate. And Jasper Reeves puts that one hard and deep, and it's going to go out of here. Jasper Reeves, the captain, finally making his name heard at Swagger Center, 410, and Reeves finally gets his first home run of the tournament, and finally, maybe that's the straw that broke the camel's back for him, as he finally saw a pitch he was able to put a charge into, puts it deep to dead center for the first home run. And I don't think that's his first hit of the tournament, but he has been struggling mightily. So for the Prowl, they got to feel really great to see him make that connection in that first inning. So we head to the top of the second, and it is all tied up 1-1. Bolt Snow does go down swinging, so Les Ventura gives up his first run, and it's a solo shot to the captain, Jasper Reeves, for the first run. And this will be an interesting one if it continues like this, and we get the pop-up to center field for Bailey to camp under and get that one, and here comes Knox Horn. And maybe Raymond Meal can kind of settle in here. He is back to neutral mojo once again, and he's kind of hoping that the first inning can be put past him and that he can kind of recover now. He's got a 1-2 count on Knox Horn, and that's a base hit right up the middle, and Bailey gets that one in, but there is another runner getting on base, and that's enough for Meal's mojo to drop back down to tense, as he didn't feel comfortable for long. He doesn't like having those runners on base, and here comes Francesca Brown. In the first game of this tournament, she sent a comebacker right at the pitcher, and she might be thinking about doing that here to kind of get the momentum rolling for the Thumpers. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I know that there was some rumblings from the Overdogs after their series ended. They were actually looking to see if the tournament, those that are leading this tournament, could maybe look into the defense. And that ball bounces off the wall, but Bailey there at the corner, right on the wall, opted not to reach up and try and catch that, and he does play it off the wall, but that is a very deep double for Francesca Brown, which could have been more, but Knoxhorn had to stay at second base just to be safe, just in case that ball was caught. So really unique there. As I was saying, they were trying to petition for the tournament, the head of the tournament, to look into what was happening with the Thumpers and their manager maybe trying to set bounties on the heads of these pitchers, as it happened twice, and twice in 3 games is pretty uncommon to have happen. So a little bit of suspicion there. We'll see if anything comes of it, but right now it's just rumblings. And Raymond Meal just cannot get anything happening, as we've been talking about, that the Thumpers have just been hitting the ball and continue to do so, as they now got 2 more runs across in this inning and 2 runners on with only 1 out. And here comes Ginger Munster, the ace exterminator that did strike out in the first at bat. And she grounds that one just foul on the outside part of the bag there at first base. Raymond Meal tense, already at 36 pitches here in the second. He gets a swinging strike from Munster high and inside, and she fights that one off. Raymond Meal, I think one of his downfalls is that ball gets blasted by Munster to the right center field corner, and Bailey's able to get to that one, but 2 runs are going to score easily, and Munster gets herself a double. That's her first hit of the tournament, and is a 2-run double to put this score at 5-1. So the Thumpers maybe putting this in a place where they're not going to be able to have to worry about the Prowl for game 2 much longer. Raymond Meal is now rattled, and I think one of his struggles is the 3 pitches that he has. With only 3 pitches, it definitely makes it more difficult. 10 grounds to first there, and the runner advances to third. Only having 3 pitches as a starter makes you a little bit more predictable. The other downfall here is that he has 1 fastball with that elite velocity, and he goes up. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I was trying to get to the mute button, but I couldn't get there in time as that sneeze snuck up on me. Swindle Boyle comes in to replace Raymond Meal and gets a pop-up, and that's going to go into the right field corner, and I think it's going to be out of play. And Caleb Thompson trying to continue to get this inning going with 2 outs and a runner on third base, but Swindle Boyle gets the strikeout against him, and you will notice that Caleb's Ace Exterminator was not activated. Swindle Boyle is a pitcher that is let me find him here. He's a B-rated pitcher that was drafted in the 19th round, so that can sometimes be beneficial as still a good pitcher, but now you get to get rid of that Ace Exterminator trait, which can be so threatening. Now, Jada McCarthy comes up, and she gets a chance to get this inning started and try and play a little bit of catch-up for the Prowl as she hits a base hit right up the middle. And now with her on first base, not much speed, she's going to rely on the bottom of the order to get her moving around the bases here. And we will see that Elizabeth Nelson's Mind Gamer gets activated, which is Tier 2. So we will see a little bit of a debuff to Ventura's accuracy. And that one sneaks weirdly through the infield, as that one made a really weird noise. I think it hit right off the end of the bat, and it sneaks into left field for a base hit. So Nelson was able to keep that ball moving as she gets on base with a single, and now 2 on and no out for Devon Bailey, who's batting .462 with 2 RBIs in this tournament so far. Now, Bailey has that maxed out sprinter, and I believe that put him in an opportunity as he gets a base hit there, but just enough to keep the line moving as they're playing a little bit of small ball. Bailey had a leadoff triple in the previous game against the Thumpers, but got stranded on third base and was not able to score, which was a really tough thing to look at. And Ventura is now tense as we now see Francisco Henson, who's been cooling off but had a good start to the tournament as well for the Prowl. He needs to do something big here as he grounds that one. Actually, they're saying that it stayed off the ground, and that one was caught by Maxton Myers, and every runner was alert enough to get back to the base. So with bases loaded and no outs, we get a line out to first, and here comes Donald Frost, the DH. He's tense right now, but he could be able to change that really quickly if he can get a big hit here for the Prowl. And he hits that one ground ball to Thompson. Thompson, oh my goodness, Thompson tosses it to Tent at second base as they were trying to turn the double play, and it bounced right off of Joe Tent's glove. And that is an error, which allowed a runner to score and no outs. So now we wrap around to the top of the order, and Mew Chambers is up with a chance to keep breaking this one open as a runner scores. And Ventura has to be absolutely livid. And somehow his mojo got boosted there, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but 2-2 count, bases loaded, 1 out. Mew Chambers fights that one off. We're now at pitch 40 for Ventura. Definitely not the same outing he saw against the Overdogs. And takes ball 3, so now full count for Mew. And she hits that ball hard, and is it going to stay up? It does. Munster's able to catch that one. Shoestring catch for her, and with a solid arm, every runner has to stay. So now Reese Bugby, who's been one of the hottest hitters for the Prowl in this tournament, he now no longer locked in after taking strike 3 in his first at-bat. Huge opportunity for him, but he gets fooled on the same exact pitch, and the ump showboating back there. I don't know what's going on with them as they had to do a little dance there as they called strike 3 on Reese Bugby, which is a very tough situation for Prowl fans as they just saw bases loaded with no outs, and they managed to score 1 run. Now they got a gift from the Thumpers as there was an error there on Joe Tent, but boy, that is incredibly unfortunate for the Prowl to not be able to make more happen there. But kudos to Les Ventura for fighting through that. And Boyle stays in for the Prowl pitching here and gets the strikeout against, I believe that was Ryan Goodwin. And now here comes neutral Isabella Bullseye, hoping that we can have another big inning for the Thumpers. And that's a ground out Bugby to first for out number 2. Great range from him, so he's able to keep the defense up to par, even though he's been struggling at the plate. And Knox Horn comes up, and the Prowl are definitely hoping to have, as I was about to say, hoping to have at least one clean inning. Knox Horn hits that one right over the first baseman for a base hit to right field, and so we have another runner on, and Francesca Brown comes up, who has first pitch slayer, just like the catcher for the Prowl, Jada McCarthy. Interesting to see that. But she also has easy target, which helps swindle Boyle just out a little bit more. And last time up, Francesca hit one deep to center field, and it ended up staying in the park and just bounced off the top of the wall for a double for her. 2-2 count with 2 outs and a runner on first. And that ball grounds slowly to Nelson at second, who tosses to first for out number 3. So they do get out of that inning practically unscathed. They did allow a base hit, but Boyle was able to settle in pretty quickly. And now we see Jasper Reeves, the captain, coming up. He is now back to neutral mojo, and he is going to hope that he can keep his momentum going with that solo shot he hit in the first inning against Les Ventura. Ventura at the, what was it? This is the 50th pitch of the outing for him, and it's a base hit up the middle for Reeves for another base hit to get this one started. So Ventura probably not going to make it as far in this one as he did the last time. Definitely not nearly as dominant of a performance as he comes out here for Zeke Corker. Zeke has been making his appearance. He made an appearance in the last one, and he's currently locked in. The specialist does not get it activated here as he's a lefty. So against other lefties, we'll see him debuff, and Bolt Snow gets a base hit to left field to keep the momentum going for the Prowl. But we've seen this before, so we'll see what happens again. If you want anybody up in this situation, it's going to be Jada McCarthy. And we saw that Zeke Corker lost his momentum, his mojo dropped, and they don't give her a first pitch to hit here. And she hits that ball, and Joe Ten is playing the perfect spot, and he tosses to Isabella Bullseye, who tosses to Myers for out number 2. So that was a double play. You love to see it for the Thumpers, but the Prowl will have to feel very frustrated and discouraged as they had momentum going once again with 2 on and no outs, and just as quickly it turns into runner on third with 2 outs for Elizabeth Nelson, who comes up big with a base hit there, and she's able to drive in a run. And Zeke Corker's mojo has just been all over the place in this one, bouncing between locked in and neutral. And Elizabeth Nelson reaches first base, and Devon Bailey gets a chance to keep that going, and that ball gets right past Myers and gets into right field. Munster is able to keep the runner at second from advancing to third. And so with 2 outs, a little bit of a rally going here. So we see Francisco Henson come up. I believe he lined to first in his last at bat with the bases loaded. Big opportunity he wasn't able to capitalize on. And now Zeke Corker is starting to feel the pressure building up for him a little bit as he's starting to get that momentum dying out. And Henson pops that one up to right field, and that's right on the edge of the warning track. That is a very shallow right field wall, and unfortunately Henson just got under it. If he's able to push that ball just a little bit further, I bet you that one's easily out of here with how hard that he just hit that one. So they get another one. They're inching their way back into this as Boyle comes back up, and great effort from Nelson, but she wasn't able to get to that one, and that's a base hit for I believe that was Maxton Myers. Yes, Maxton Myers, the first baseman. And he gets a mojo boost at first base there. And here comes Archibald Sormore. They check the runner over there at first. And we'll see that 20 pitches for Swindle Boyle. And nothing notable for him as a reliever here. Just the 3 pitches as they check on the runner once again, and now he takes off. Maxton Myers trying to get another steal, and he gets it there. So another runner in scoring position for the Thumpers, and right after that, you get the swinging strike 3 for Archie Sormore, and that's out number 1. So here comes Ginger Munster, huge 2-run double in an earlier at bat after striking out in the first, and Swindle Boyle lets that one up, and that's going to hit off the top of the wall. Misplayed by Henson over there in right field, and that is a double for Munster. Another RBI double as the runner at second scores easily. And Henson, I don't think that is a it's a misplay for sure. I don't think it changes anything. I think the runner scores easily anyways. And Dean Boyd comes in for Swindle Boyle. Dean Boyd, 2 saves in this tournament already. Usually comes in those high leverage situations at the end of the game to try and finish them off. But he gives up a base hit here. And so runners on first and third with 1 out for Caleb Thompson, the third baseman, who has been quiet. He got a base hit earlier, but hasn't been doing much since that first game of the tournament. Pops that one foul. And Dean Boyd trying to hush the crowd here just a little bit and settle them in. Unfortunately, allows a base hit and a runner to score from third very easily for another run. And that's 2 for the Thumpers here in the top of the 4th. So it's a 7-3 ball game. And they may not be done yet. Tense Ryan Goodwin comes up, but good speed over there at first base, no speed at second base, and with 1 out, does get that one right on the top of the zone for strike 3. And Goodwin's really frustrated with himself, I believe, as he walks back to the dugout, kind of watching the replay on the Jumbotron, seeing, did that one hit the zone? And he's probably just shaking his head thinking close enough that he shouldn't be taking that pitch. So Dean Boyd trying to get out of this one. 2-1 count there as that one just missed the plate. And that ball gets right past the first baseman diving. Henson's able to get it in quickly, so the runners advance just 1 base. And we now find ourselves in another bases-loaded situation. And I'd like to check back and see how many batters for both teams have been at the plate with bases loaded at some point in this game, and we're only in the fourth inning. So Dean Boyd again trying to figure something out against Knox Horn. 2-2 count with 2 outs, fouls that one off, and hits that one right back up the middle, just under the glove of Boyd. 2 runners are trying to score here, and they both will easily, as that ball did not get in nearly fast enough, and so that's a 2-run single for Knox Horn, who's been able to stay hot at the bottom of the order. And here comes Francesca Brown. Once again, had a double in the first one, and that's going to get away from McCarthy, but she's able to get to it quick enough, and I think because it went down the third base line a little bit, the runners had to stay where they were at. And so Boyd's starting to lose his mojo, his confidence. He's losing some stamina as well. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. And hits that one right at Bugby, catching it for out number 3. And another 4 runs come across in the 4th inning. And the Prowl, they've been able to slowly, what do you want to call it? Slowly chip away at that lead, but they're going to need to do much more than that if they want any chance. As Zeke Corker comes up, and now we see that specialist activated against tense Donald Frost, and he has no contact right now, and he has about half power, as he's been able to fight off a couple of pitches, but you kind of see the inevitable happening here, where there's going to be a really nasty pitch in a place where he can't get it, and there it is, as Donald Frost strikes out after fighting off a few pitches. Now, the only good thing there is that you may consider that to be a successful at-bat with how many pitches he was able to fight off, and trying to get Zeke Corker out of this game quicker, as Mew Chambers comes up, also impacted by that maxed out specialist. But Corker is getting close to the end of his day. The 1-2 count. And Mew Chambers fouls that one off, fighting off some pitches here as well. And that ball's going to sneak through the infield. A great diving attempt from Bullseye, but she's not able to get to that. And that's going to be a base hit for Mew Chambers with 1 out. And here comes Reese Bugby, another lefty. That's 3 consecutive lefties that Zeke Corker has faced now, and his stamina really low, but he's hoping that he can just get out of this inning before. Oh, but he might get it there. Bugby grounds to Bullseye to Tent over to Myers. Not in time, as Bugby is able to stretch that one out and avoid the double play to end the inning. Fielder's choice for him. And here comes Brianna Gongum. I believe this might be her first. Nope, she has had an appearance before. And Jasper Reeves tries to take advantage of her rustiness as he swings at the first pitch. And low for ball 1. Again, 2 outs here with a runner on first base. Not great speed. And 1-2 count here, and Reeves is kind of swinging at everything. Takes ball 2 inside. And that one's going to be low for ball 3. I believe that was her elite slider. Runner goes. Jasper Reeves hits that ball hard to left field, and that's going to stay up, and it's going to get just over the yellow line. And Jasper Reeves with his 2nd home run of the day and of the tournament, 367, just made it up there, and that is a 2-run shot. And he just might have given the Prowl a shot in the arm with that 2-run homer. And Reeves, the captain, throwing the team on his back on this one, as he has now gotten a hit in every at-bat. He has also hit 2 home runs, has 3 RBIs. So really, really great coming out party for him. As Bolt Snow walks up to the plate with his bad ball hitter. We have not seen that get activated in a long time, and he grounds out to Brianna for out number 3. So again, the Prowl are doing something. They're not just rolling over and taking it, but they're going to have to do 2 things. They're going to need more offense, and they're going to need to stop the Thumpers. And I think stopping the Thumpers is going to be more difficult than more offense for them, as they do get the line out from Maxton Myers to Bugby for out number 1. And D Boyd comes out. Hal Garrison gets the nod as he comes to the rubber. He did not have a great first time out. He does have volatile, so we'll see that mojo shift quite a bit for him. And Bolt Snow cannot get to that one in time as he gets that on a trap play, they're saying. And that's going to be a reach safely for Archie Sormore as he gets the base hit with one out. And Ginger Munster, who went from no hits in the tournament to biggest threat in this order, she just absolutely obliterates that one. Holy moly, that almost hit the Vertigo's pizza sign as it just gets up there into the top row of the stands, and that's a huge 442-foot two-run homer for Ginger Munster, and barring anything crazy happening, which we know absolutely can and will happen in most of these games, Ginger Munster is looking like the player of the game with how much offense she's been able to produce in this game alone. Absolutely amazing. And so here comes Joe Tent, who strikes out swinging, and Garrison, who I think needs to read the room a little bit, just gave up a huge two-run shot and is feeling confident after that strikeout, but he's going to need to figure something out. And oh my goodness, Ace Exterminator comes in activated here for Caleb Thompson, who's trying to get things going just like Ginger Munster is, his counterpart, the Ace Exterminator twins. And he, with a full count, grounds that one to Bugby to Reeves for out number 3. 2 more runs come across the board. It's now 11-5, heading into the bottom of the 5th. And you are going through the 5, 6, 7 hitters who have been pretty decent today, but we're going to need a lot more than pretty decent for this team to make something happen. And Joe Tent comes out. The secondary position of second baseman already made an error earlier, struck out, and I think they want to just get in Britt Luna now at second base. And Bullseye gets that one easily, tosses to first, and Jada McCarthy, the hero of round 1, has been very quiet in these 2 games against the Thumpers already. So I think with that extra time that the Thumpers had before this round 2, I think they did a lot of scouting. And I did hear that they really keyed in on Jada McCarthy, and that wild pitch gets away from Francesca Brown. And so I think they've been focusing on making sure that they're not going to let her beat them and making the rest of the team do it, as Nelson takes strike 3 and Gongham is kind of feeling herself now too. These pitchers are very passionate, and you will see them make some noise and kind of taunt a little bit here and there. They're just, it's a very intense tournament. That's the inaugural Elite Discord tournament that they just want to be, they want to be the best. They want to be good. They're facing off against elite competition, and when they make those big pitches in those moments, like, yeah, they're going to let you know about it. Pop out to the infield, ends the inning there quietly in the 5th for the Prowl. And once again, like I was saying, you have to stop the Thumpers before you can catch up. And they head into the top of the 6th with a ground out there for out number 1. And Isabella Bullseye comes up 1 for 3 with a single today. She's not been doing much. And a lot of lefties in this order have been able to allow Hal Garrison to use his specialist trait to activate here. It's not nearly as debilitating as it is for the Thumpers because they have maxed out Crafty. And you see Garrison allows a base hit up the middle for Bullseye, and Bullseye gets a mojo boost. And here comes locked in Knox Horn, 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 2 RBIs. Great block from Jada McCarthy, keeping that one in front of her and keeping the runner at first. And oh my God, Knox Horn, it just won't stop. This Thumpers offense is incredibly threatening, and Knox Horn has just kind of turned it into another gear. He gets his first home run of the tournament, 451 yards. 451 feet, and you could hear that off the bat, just absolutely destroyed that one. And Hal Garrison finally comes out. Michelle Cordova comes in, who has been the most consistent reliever for the Prowl, and you have to be feeling frustrated as a Prowl Prowl fan is as you watched them pretty much dominate the Arctics, and they came into this one really tough pitchers duel between the Thumpers and the Prowl in the game one, but this one just being a completely different story, giving up 13 runs. I don't think that they saw an offense like this in round one, and I don't know if they know what to do with it. And Michelle Cordova gets a ground out and then a pop up here to get out of the inning. And two more runs come across, so now you are down by 8 going into the bottom of the sixth. And your first batter is the number 8 hitter, Tense Francisco Henson, who is 0 for 2 today, and he definitely needs to figure it out. He had a good shot earlier, a couple of opportunities earlier in this game, but just could not convert them. And he takes 3 straight balls against Brianna Gongham. Takes strike 1, so they did not give him the green light there. And then takes strike 2, those elite sliders dropping right in, and Henson swings at that one, kind of fought it off, and it just slowly goes to Maxton Myers at first for out number 1. And so we see Gongham come out and Odin Soto come in. Soto, the cousin of Stu Soto from the Dirt Dogs that we saw earlier, he gets to come in and immediately gets the strikeout on 3 pitches from Donald Frost, and they're down to one last out. They still need to score 8 runs. You definitely can't rule it out, but it's not likely at this point, especially with the way we've seen the Prowl not been able to come up big. And Munster, of course, it would be her to end this game as she reaches out and catches that one before it gets to the wall, and the Thumpers win this one by a score of 13-5. Just absolutely dominant from start to finish. They scored 13 runs on 19 hits and 1 error, where the Prowl scored 5 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Very, very different outcome versus the one we saw in game 1. So very curious to see what it looks like in game 3 as they head to the Bingata Bowl with the Thumpers with a chance to sweep another series, this one against the Prowl. As we take a look at some of the numbers here, we'll start with the Prowl. Bugby without a hit, Henson without a hit, Frost without a hit. They've been struggling for sure. Bugby came in locked in, but just completely lost his momentum in this one. Big day from Jasper Reeves. We'll give him a quick shout out as he had been struggling all tournament long, and he has a coming out parade here, going 3 for 3. 3 runs scored, 2 homers, and 3 RBIs. Just a huge performance from him, what they needed, but that pitching staff just could not help him out. Nelson got 2 hits, was nice to see that from her. Devon Bailey got 2 hits, and then we saw a base hit from McCarthy, Snow, and Chambers. So really quiet overall for the Prowl. For the Thumpers, things look very different. Britt Luna did not get a chance to bat. Ryan Goodwin had a very tough day, going 0 for 4, the only person that didn't get a hit in this one. And as we look up and down the lineup, just hits galore. Francesca Brown only had 1, and it was a double, and she scored a run as well. We look at Isabel Bullseye, 2 for 4 with a run scored. Caleb Thompson, 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Joe Tent, 2 for 4, run scored, RBI. Just repeating the same thing over and over again. Archie Sormore, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored and an RBI. Then Maxton Myers, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, an RBI. Let's see, who else did I miss here? Huge game from Knox Horn, 4 for 4, a huge homer, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored, but no, the player of the game for this one has to be Ginger Munster, 3 for 4, a home run, 5 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Huge game for her. These were her first 3 hits of this tournament, and they were in a big way coming out for a big Thumpers win. Looking at the Prowl pitching staff, just labored up and down the lineup here. Raymond Meal won in 2/3 innings, giving up 8 hits and 5 earned runs, only 1 strikeout. He gets the loss. Swindle Boyle comes in, 1 2/3 innings himself, 3 hits and 2 earned runs and 3 strikeouts. Dean Boyd, 1 inning, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout. Hal Garrison, 1 inning, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers allowed. And then Michelle Cordova continues to be consistency in that bullpen, going 2/3 of an inning, not allowing a run, a hit, or a walk. For the Thumpers, Les Ventura was not nearly as dominant as he was the first time, as he did allow a home run, 3 earned runs on 5 hits, and striking out 3. He does not get the win. That goes to Zeke Corker, who went 1 and 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout. He's now 1-0 with 2 saves and a 2.08 ERA. Brianna Gangam did not do that great 1 and 2/3 innings, but she did enough, giving up a hit, an earned run, and that was a solo shot. And then lastly, Odin Soto came in, getting the last 2 outs and striking out 1. So big game for the Thumpers. And as we look at the lineup here, Knox Horn, huge game from him. Jasper Reeves, coming out party for him. And then Ginger Munster. Again, just what a dominant performance. 3 hits, all extra base hits, 5 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Just absolutely wild, dominant performance for the Thumpers. So the Prowl have to make some adjustments. They have to figure some things out because they are facing elimination, and the Thumpers have to be feeling really great. It seems like they can win the pitchers duels, and it looks like they can win those back and forth offensive matches. But they're going to get to go home for Game 3 with a chance to sweep once again, just like they did against the Overdogs. So we'll see how that goes. Tune in next time as the Lockhorns face off against the Buzzwings at Big Sky Ballpark as the Buzzwings try to do the same, taking a 2-win lead over the Lockhorns. The Lockhorns, they started fighting there at the end of the game in the first game. They're going to kind of try and keep that momentum going into this one. So let's see how it goes. Appreciate all of you for watching. Subscribe so you can continue to follow along. Hopefully you all enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.